Today we're joined by Jules, a former educator of 30 years, stroke and TIA survivor, and someone who's been sharing her aphasia recovery journey online over the past year. I actually noticed Jules following and supporting our page on Instagram. I started seeing some of her posts and I reached out to her because I thought her story would be really important to share. Joining her is her husband, who's been alongside her throughout all of this. Jules, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. It's very good to be here. It's something I didn't know I was going to be, but I'm happy that I'm here.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great.
Yeah. And can you share who's joining with you today?
This is my husband, Jimmy.
Jim Collins. It's a pleasure.
Hi, Jim.
Well,
Thank you for being here.
you're welcome.
So, Jules, I wanted our audience to get to know you. So, you were an educator for 30 years. What did you love most about
Yeah.
teaching?
I loved just being with the students and seeing them grow and seeing them get excited about their education, and adventures we would go on. I taught in inner city schools, and
Oh,
we had trips to Washington, D.C., and we would
cool.
raise the money to go to Washington. And at first, they never thought they could do something like that. And
Mhm.
when they were able to raise the money and go and succeed, that just made my whole day and my whole year. And
Yeah.
it was just those types of things. And, sometimes, um, even recently, my daughter and I were at the mall and we went to get an Annie's pretzel.
Mhm.
And the person selling the pretzel said to me, "You look familiar." And I said, "Oh,
Uh,
I do?" And he said, "Are you Mrs. Collins?" I said, "I am." And my daughter had to explain what had happened to me. And he we went to leave and he said, "You were an amazing teacher and you can have the
no.
pretzel today
Wow.
for free." It's like, I
No.
know that seems so small, but as a educator, little things like that, they remember you.
Yeah, my wife teaches, kindergarten. She's been teaching for, like,
Mhm.
35 years, and
Oh,
she just loves working with she's do it, so, she always says to me she's gonna teach with the kindergarten kids until they throw her out.
Yes.
So,
yeah, I
I
taught
I
middle
mean,
school, so
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, she
I
taught
God bless her for
kindergarten.
the littles. I couldn't do the littles.
Right.
Well,
Yeah. Somehow she loves them. She can't get away from them.
Oh, that's so adorable. I love that.
Jim, can you take a second and kind of tell us a little bit about Jules in that role and just how you saw her?
oh, are you kidding me? Do you have a couple of weeks?
At least.
Anyway, she's a lovely young lady, and, God was good to me. She has poise, she has patience, she has emotional stability, so I said, "She's for me," and she's a great teacher, and then when I walked into her classes, and
Uh,
on course, she invited me, it was incredible. I mean, it was Mrs. this and Mrs. that, and, oh, I'm telling you, and the kids were writing things and saying how nice this and, oh, it was just a fantastic individual as far as I was concerned, and I was very happy, that the kids enjoyed a teacher and instructor to get up into a class, especially in this day and age, and say, the
yes.
wonderful words that they did say about her. And as a result of that, we get into the situation that my Julie was involved in.
So, can you take us back to when everything happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened that day?
Yeah.
Yep.
Take your time. Mhm.
So, the night before, I had tachycardia, so I always was checking my heart rate, and the night before, it was, like, 147 on my Fitbit, but like, 60 on my Cardia, and,
Ah,
um, I checked it a couple more times, and I said, "You know what? It must just be the battery in my, um, Cardia. I have to change it
right.
tomorrow." So I went to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I was
I wasn't stressed. I mean, our daughter had just graduated from grad school. We were maybe tired, but I didn't think anything about it. I just said, "Oh, that's got to be the battery." And I went to sleep, and I always left for school at about 5:15 in the morning, got up at 4:45, got in the car, and I did notice that my arm was numb, but I said again, "Well, I maybe slept on it funny."
Uh-huh.
And when I got to school, I part of what we do is you take attendance, so all the students were in front of me in my classroom, and my, mm, helper, who knows I have a heart problem, said, "You don't look very good. Are you feeling all right?" And I said, "Well, my heart rate was kind of funny, and I have to get new batteries in my Cardia." She said, "Why don't you take your heart rate?" I said, "Okay." So I did. It was 182.
Mm.
So she got
Oh,
the school nurse and all the administration, and,
uh-huh.
there the kids were in front of me, and I just said, "It's visitor day, everything's okay," and they wanted me to take an ambulance. They said, "You have to go to the hospital, you're in atrial fibrillation, you're an AFib." I said, "I've never been in AFib
Right.
before." "Well, you are now, we gotta go." And I said, they said, "We'll call you an ambulance." I said, "No, I don't want to be rolled out of here. I want to walk out of here." And I didn't want the whole school, when you do that, the whole school has to be on lockdown. So
Yeah.
I went down to the nurse's office, and I called you and I said, "You need to meet me at the emergency room." And my principal drove me to the emergency room. We got into the cardiac ICU, and you eventually met me there.
Yeah.
And they said that I had been in AFib. But at this point now, I'm up to about 192.
Okay.
And because I had been in it for over 12 hours, I was in it for about 16 to 18 hours. I had about 2 hours left before they were afraid it was just going to stop
Yeah.
because it was going so fast and because of the blood pooling.
Right. Mhm.
So they said, "We're going to do a cardioversion." I said, "A what?"
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, I had never heard of that. And I said, "Well, why don't?" Because they gave me the medications to try to slow it down. I said, "Well, what about like a muscle relaxer instead of a cardioversion?" No,
Uh-huh.
we have about 2 hours left before you either have a massive stroke or your heart just stops.
Were you fully coherent during all of this? You
Yes,
understood everything going on?
I did. I was, and I I didn't really understand the cardio version because the cardiologist came back twice, and he said, I would really advise you to do this." And I wanted to wait.
Uh-huh.
And then he eventually said, "No, you have to do this." Because I was petrified that I wouldn't wake up
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
because I had never heard of them. They tell you we have to stop your heart to reset it. And
Wow, that's kinda scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary thing to hear.
yeah, and we didn't have as that time we didn't have a choice. So it really, to me,
Right.
it was like a scene out of Grey's Anatomy with the code cart and
Yeah.
all the things. And I still have a little bit of my personality, but they were coming in. And I said, "Oh my goodness!"
It's coming out.
And yeah, and uh, they said, "Think of somewhere you want to be, like Hawaii or somewhere." I said, "I want to be home. I want to just be home with my pool and
Yeah.
my husband and my." We had a golden retriever at that time. We have another one now, but and so poor Jimmy was out in the, that little space outside of the room, and he's standing there with
Right.
the
Mhm.
picture of our golden retriever, and
Aw.
I was at peace. I said, "Okay, if this doesn't go the way it's gonna go, supposed to go, I'm at peace." We had called our daughter, and I told her what was happening, and the next thing I know, I was saying to the nurse, "I'm trying to fall asleep." And she said, "It's over." I said,
Ah.
"Oh, okay." Um, I but I still had like the burn marks because it takes you a while to recover. But I know it's a little bit of a long story, but what happened
Yep.
was
Important.
after that, that was Thursday, we came home, and Friday, I still felt funny, but Saturday we had a graduation party for our daughter against everybody else's wishes, but I had a tent and, you know, I said if I'm a
Yeah.
good girl and I just sit there, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show
I
must
just
go on.
yes, it must go on. So, and the doctor said as long as they were okay, she's gonna do what she's gonna do anyway. But I couldn't remember anybody's names. I I couldn't talk, like, I was thinking, but the words couldn't come out,
Well,
and
right.
my left arm went numb, and back to the emergency room we went.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Mhm.
yeah, they said that I had had a couple of TIAs, and the theory is because the cardioversion reset my heart, but I didn't start the blood thinner until Friday, so that might have been some time in there for one of the clots to go.
Ah, okay.
And so after that, here we thought the speech was because of the we knew it was because of the TIA, but we thought it would get better, which actually it has. But I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Mhm.
Did you stay at the hospital?
I didn't stay overnight.
We were there for 12 hours.
We were in the
Whoa.
emergency
Yeah.
room. They well, it's funny because they didn't have us stay. They were going to have us stay to do an MRI, but I already had an appointment with my regular cardiologist. So the next day I went to my regular cardiologist, and she was the one that said,
Okay.
"Whoa, there's a lot going
Yeah.
on here. Um, we need to do the MRI."
Did you know that you had aphasia yet?
Nope. No, this is in June. I wasn't diagnosed until the
Oh,
end of July after another
Event.
MRI.
Yeah.
After another, I kept having AFib and the tachycardia. So they think that I've had a couple more TIAs, but it's like I'm sorry, this is the best way to describe it. It's like, have you seen Braveheart
yes.
have you
Yeah.
ever seen, okay,
Mm-hmm.
when in Braveheart, when William Wallace is like, hold, that's me. I'm at hold with Eliquis,
Oh,
Metoprolol, like I'm not having the big
Uh-huh.
event. I said, there's something not right here. And my cardiologist said, yeah, there's something not right because you're not speaking right. And I went to the
okay.
neurologist, and from the neurologist, then I finally got at the end of July, so about a month, they diagnosed me with expressive
Mhm.
Expressive, yes.
aphasia.
Yeah. Expressive aphasia, yeah.
Yeah, or
Mhm.
Broca or something like that.
Broca's
You
aphasia.
Yes.
Yeah. Had you guys ever heard the word before?
The only time I had heard of aphasia, honestly, was with when Bruce Willis has it, but he's got like
Yeah.
the dementia, right?
Right.
And I
His
was
yeah,
is
like,
it's
yeah.
just totally different,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just different
totally
than we
different.
have.
So then, of
Exactly.
course, my mind's like, oh my God, I got dementia and I got all, but no, I'm
No.
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, did you go to speech therapy right away after that, or how has that
Yes.
been for you?
Yes, I have been in speech therapy since August, first week of August, every week since
Uh-huh.
August, and I finally graduated to
Oh yeah.
right, every other week.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
And
So, what does a normal therapy session look like for you? What do you guys normally do?
Um, well, now is different, obviously, than before. Go
Start
ahead.
from the beginning. Tell us what you did at the beginning and kind of what's
In the
changed since then.
beginning, it was like I had a brain injury. It was looking at pictures and saying what they are, like
right.
objects.
Yeah.
It was reading sentences. It was what was she would give me homework, categories where you put things in different
Right.
categories.
Mhm.
And then it was
Hmm. Yeah.
reading things, sentences, scrambled sentences, and I'd have to put them together backwards.
Oh,
And that
that's
actually made my head hurt,
Yeah.
right? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, mine used to, in the beginning, yeah, I used to, after 20 minutes, I was exhausted in the first
Yeah.
part of yeah, I mean, I just was totally, you know, they would last for like, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but after 15, 20 minutes, I was out of it at that point. I was really tired.
were you able to read initially?
Um, Sort of. One of the things I started to do was read out loud. My husband reads the newspaper every morning, so I would try to read to him. Um, but and it was different because I was okay in my little bubble, but if you
Right.
took me out, forget about it. It
Yeah.
Mhm.
was
No, I
really
understand.
hard to, like, people weren't always still are not always kind.
Mhm.
Um, but now my speech therapy is more, conversational. We talk a lot.
Yeah, mine now is I go once a week, and let's say the last few weeks, we do probably 45 minutes of just having conversations.
And don't you love I love 'em. They're
Yeah, I
like
love my
become your
my.
friends, right? Ugh, Jimmy
Well,
McCarthy. He's like,
I've had her for about.
Don't believe that.
"Sit down." We no,
I I've
we
had mine. I've had her for about 6.5 years.
oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
She's like family
So
to you now, yeah.
she's really like family at this point. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
well, we talk, we're the same, we have the same ideas and things like that. So now, did this affect your numbers or just
Letters.
just letters or numbers?
How was your math?
Oh, well, my math has never been very good anyway, but, it has affected my whole thought process. I feel like I am, like, slowed down.
Mhm.
When I tell you I would get up at 4:45, go teach, um, come home and do all kinds of different regular day. But now
Yeah.
it's, everything is slower
Right.
because you think it, but it takes a while to come out, and it was my speech therapist's idea to start the Jules journey, and I was a little shy
I'm
to
sure.
do that, but whatever was gonna help.
That's
So
exactly it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, whatever it takes to help. So, yeah. So, what does a normal day look like for you now?
so now it's, our new normal. I have
Right.
obviously not taught, and I will not be teaching anymore, but that's another story.
Right. Yeah.
But it is slower paced. We have it's routine and consistency because to me it's constant exercising of my brain. It's constant medications twice a day. It's
Mhm.
doctor's appointments. Like we actually celebrate if we don't have
An
a
appointment.
doctor's appointment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when the valet at the hospital knows you, right? So,
Yeah.
There was a time, yeah,
Yeah.
there was a time when we were all regulars there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
yes.
Jules, I see you post a lot about cooking. So, how does that fit into your day?
So, mm,
I'm sure that fits into your day.
yeah, yeah. The um, eh, one of the things that my team of doctors told me to do was to have a routine and consistency. And my speech therapist said when we realized that there is the memory component of aphasia, that I should
Right.
do
Mhm.
something that I enjoy. So I started, excuse me, to cook, like
Yeah.
reading the recipes, measuring out the ingredients, the repetition has helped has
Right.
helped me. It has helped
Yeah, so
him
that's like a
too.
form of therapy.
It is a form of therapy.
He gets to eat a lot of good stuff is what happens,
Huh?
right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
He gets to eat a lot of good stuff. He's the tester.
I was 180, 235.
strawberry.
I'm not standing up for you.
No.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Uh, so
with that, though, I expanded because I don't want to get emotional. This
Yeah, just be
this
careful.
this brings you to your knees
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
right.
Because I can't teach now, and I love
Right.
to teach.
Yeah.
So I knew back in September, they told me that I would have to retire from teaching. And um not some like it was like COVID. I literally just got up and left my classroom. I've never been
Yeah.
back.
Right.
And
Right.
so I found that the cooking has helped me. So I expanded a little and said, well, I'm going to try baking. And my, the last time I baked a blueberry pie, I think it's still in the pan because I burnt, but
That's a year and a half ago.
okay, but I wanted to, I wanted, I want to get better and I
Yeah.
need to take, how can I put this? The person that I was before aphasia and the person that I am now into a new person, right? And
Right.
Yeah.
so I studied and I got my food manager's license
Oh, wow.
and my
Congratulations.
thank you and my allergens license,
Yeah.
which again exercised my brain. And
Totally.
so now I have what we call a cottage food license, and I bake cookies, and they're actually pretty good. And I said,
She's got a line out the door.
not really.
I've seen some of your posts. Yeah, they look great.
Thank you. So I don't know. You asked me about cooking, so
Yeah, no, so I mean, that's great. So that's become a new form of therapy for you and just an outlet for you, basically. You know,
yes,
you
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
because we tried.
Thank God.
We
Oh,
walk every day, but um, Roger, I think you probably feel this too. By like I don't know, like 1:30 in the afternoon feels like 7 o'clock, and you just go, ugh. Or I do
Yeah.
anyway.
You do. You do. You just get tired. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it. You're just tired.
Yeah.
It goes through. It goes through you. And you know, you just have to keep going, you just get tired.
yeah, like you say, I mean, reading makes you tired,
Yeah.
talking makes you
Yeah.
tired, everything
Yeah,
kind of.
reading, yeah. I mean, see, I still don't read really well. It
Mm.
takes me a long time to read an
yeah.
article.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, so a lot of times I'll start reading like the sports page, and there's an article on there that's it's a page and a half type of one of those type of articles, and I'll say I want to read that, and I'll get maybe a third of it through, and that's already 20 minutes, and I just say the heck with it, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just get yeah, I just get frustrated, and I just I said the heck with it. But that I try and read as much as I can. I read every day,
Mhm.
and and I have a lot. I get a lot of homework,
Yep.
still, all different types of things she gives me to do. But
Oh, absolutely.
between getting
Yeah.
yeah, between getting tired and just going through it, it change it it just changes you. I mean, it really does. And this is how yeah, as you were saying before, you were a different person. You've made it into being you made it into being a new different person, and that's
Mhm.
basically what I'm doing. Mine's going a long time. but I mean, from when I started to where I am now, you know, when I look back, it's, you know, it's amazing because I really couldn't talk well or do anything, you know,
Mm,
9 years ago, and now I can talk, but you know, it's still hard to come up with the right words. You know, the words don't,
Mhm.
as that's why we
Yeah, that's why we
that's why
have
we
when
call
words don't come
when words
easy.
don't come easy.
Yeah.
That's why we call this.
But thank God for you guys because, uh, y like, I remember the first speech therapy, I cried. I felt so defeated, I didn't understand, and I thought I was one of the only people that had this, that was going through this.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this that's what we always talk about, that, you know, there's 2,000,000 people in the United States, and nobody knows
The
what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
see,
most even, educators and doctors aren't even that they might know the term, but they don't know much about aphasia. It's just not something that's talked about, it's not something that people learn about, and so, thinking back to 9 years ago, things that we wish we could have had, I wish I could have had a podcast to look at like this and
Mhm.
see someone that's had this 9 years later and see that there is hope and see how much therapy can help.
Yeah,
And so, like, if we could just be one little bit of a resource for someone, that's what we're looking
yeah,
to do.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, but kudos to you because you did it without podcasts.
right, yeah, I'm telling you, my therapist would, you know, she would just give me different things to do. You know, it started off as, like, kindergarten stuff, and then it got up to 2nd grade, and then up to 5th grade, and, you know, I just kept getting harder, you know, harder things to do, but, yeah, it was still, you know, it's still beginning, it was still it was still the early, stages,
Stages, yeah.
and then, you know, yeah, I mean,
Mhm,
you just go from one stage to another stage,
Mm,
and it just keeps going, and that's why we always say you can't give up, you can't stop, you gotta keep going forward,
mhm.
and, you know, there's good days and bad days. Is that correct?
Yeah, because
now he sounds just like me.
the the good days and the bad days, I feel like sometimes I feel like, "Whoa, I feel pretty good today. I can talk." And then when I get tired or when I go out
Yeah,
in public, um,
Right.
it 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 feels like stage 1 or step 1 again. And, the my s she did tell me last week that, um, I probably have another 6 months to a year, but that I have to, uh, be careful because if I have another TIA,
Well,
it
yeah,
could go back.
yeah, and that's what's always so scary
I
is
mean,
thinking about all the progress you've made.
yeah, I mean, that scares me
Yeah,
too. I always think, yeah, I mean, I always think I'm gonna have another stroke, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you have to be so careful, like, we were we got a puppy, and I was taking the puppy out of the crate. I'm not the most graceful at times, and I hit my head on the door frame. Okay, and
oh,
I know, and I had a big bump and had to go to the emergency room because when you're on the blood thinner, if you look the wrong way, you have to make sure you don't have a brain bleed.
yeah,
And
it's scary.
so, yeah, so it's like day to day making sure that you don't have another stroke. I
oh,
don't have it on now, of course, but I'm hooked up my watch to my doctor's office so they
Oh,
can
good.
oh.
monitor like my AFib episodes.
Mhm.
How are you, when you go to a restaurant, how are you ordering? Are you good at ordering, or
Uh,
what
in a crowded room.
Slowly,
you will?
slowly.
Uh,
um, I, how do you think I am?
I think you're beautiful and I
No,
love you.
I meant about
What
ordering.
what are you guys talking about?
No, when I go to the rest.
I said when you go to a restaurant and you have to
Yeah,
order something,
And there's a lot of
and
people.
there's a lot of people and there's 5 people ordering, and, I mean, does that get to you at all, or does that stop
yeah,
you, or
I don't like it,
Uh-huh.
and I am I yield to
Me.
my husband or to our
Yeah.
daughter, and they order for me because that gets me nervous, and I'm afraid it's not going to come out right, or I'm not going to pronounce something right. And I've gotten those looks like, what the heck is wrong with you type look,
I get that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mhm.
I've
And
seen
I,
that look, yep.
yeah, and I've actually started to say, I have aphasia. And then you get that next look, which is like, what the heck is that?
Oh, is that?
Right, right. Right. And
Yeah.
so, but because really the looks that I still get, um, well, and here's the memory. I was just somewhere, hmm, mm, 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 mm. Oh, on the phone. I was talking to someone. The phone is tough to talk to someone. Um,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
was trying to make a reservation for something, for an event, for our daughter, and I had to tell the woman I have to speak slowly because I have aphasia. And then also, when people talk to you, it doesn't process like it used to.
Mhm.
Like, so
Yeah,
I'm always like, what? Not like what, like you can't hear what. Like, it's not, he got,
that's just it.
but
Thank
like,
God it works at the same time.
but like you can't,
Yeah.
I I have, I have to have humor because otherwise I will be sad. And I don't
Yeah.
wanna
Oh,
be
yeah.
sad because I'm here talking about it, and that is such a
Yeah,
blessing, right? But
absolutely.
seriously, you um, what was I saying? Oh, that sometimes I can't understand them, they talk too fast, and I never had that
Yeah.
problem before. Like, I can't
Yeah,
multitask anymore like if I was in.
me too. I'm not very good at multitasking anymore, and even Justin, or, even my wife, and all, they understand, but they don't understand, if
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. They
Yes.
do. They totally understand what I have and what it is, but it's on me, it's not on them, so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just, they understand that I'm not understanding something, but it's still inside of
Yeah,
me.
we still just like you, Jim, we still don't know what's going on inside their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, like,
Right.
I will literally just have, like, a blank stare because 'cause I'm like, "I don't know what the hell. Oop, I don't know
Yeah.
what the heck."
What the
Um,
hell is
the, the, and I think that sometimes happens too, that you live with someone and, like I said earlier, they're in my bubble, but when I go outside of the bubble,
Yeah,
Mm,
then they'll say, "Oh, yeah." But my family, like my sisters, will say, "Oh, you sound good today."
yeah.
mhm.
I get that all people telling me how you're doing is really good and really good, which is
Yeah,
nice to hear, but, but in your mind, you're really saying, I'm not really that good yet." But
yeah,
yes, yeah, I'm happy that you're telling me that I feel better, that I'm doing things better, but, that
Get better.
it's still not always where it should be in my
Yeah, that's
mind.
right. Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
it will be. Um, Roger, did they make you sing? My therapist made me sing.
Not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't but yeah, I mean, that's what I've heard,
Yeah,
that
we've read a lot of and seen and interviewed some other people who had a
with
lot
the
of singing
singing, yeah.
therapy.
Yeah, no, we really didn't do a lot of singing. It was more, like you were saying in the beginning, putting this together with this and putting different things, together. That was
Filling in
yeah,
words.
filling in words. That's
Yep.
more, that's more like what we were doing rather than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the teacher in me, I printed out my homework and then I would laminate it and cut up the pieces. Remember we would play categories?
Mhm.
I love
No, do you really
it.
remember
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Well, yeah, as I told you, my wife teaches kindergarten, and in the first year, she kept bringing the homework with
Yeah, she was bringing home stuff
she
from
was
the
bringing
kids.
she was bringing the kindergarten stuff for me to do for me to work on. So I was doing the same as the
Yeah,
kids were.
literally, he was doing work from the therapist plus from my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing kindergarten stuff. So, yeah,
Yeah,
but I needed it.
But, so Jim, throughout all of this, what have you learned about Jules?
Well, let me tell you something. Do you have a couple of days?
no,
Jul
Uh,
Ju Julie is the love of my life. To see her and to find out what happened to her on that day has changed my life completely 360 degrees. I've been in law enforcement for a long time. I'm a combat veteran, and I've seen some radical stuff that's happened on the battlefield and in the streets across this country. And nobody can get emotional to me now. I'm talking about as I do seeing her and knowing what she was as a complete person before she ran into this unfortunate situation. So it's been a lot for me to deal with my religion and ask why every day. And when we pray at night, hopefully she can come back again, or, you know, I hope he just looks upon her and she doesn't fall into a vortex and have a
oh, yeah,
problem
there's
trying to
not.
get
That's
out
not.
again. So,
Yeah, no.
uh, and we're in church. It's the same thing. Before anything can happen, there's tears in my eyes, and as well as her. We thank God very much to give us both and our daughter the opportunity to continue on in our life to make something very substantial that makes this family what it is today.
but
Absolutely,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I almost wish I could have met you before, but then I wouldn't have because I
Right.
don't
But
know.
this is what kind of makes our relationship so special is that we met
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Like really
Yeah.
cool. And so before we finish this off, I was just kind of wondering, Jules, what do you wish that more people understood about aphasia?
I wish that people understood that there's nothing wrong with me mentally.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, there is nothing wrong with me mentally. You're not gonna make me shut up.
I
Okay.
love it.
I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
keep talking and I'm going to get better, but it is something that happens after you have either a stroke or a TIA, and that it is a language disorder, and that it
Yeah.
hopefully can can get 100% better, but I don't know, you know.
Well, in either way, there's a different better for everybody.
Yeah, I think that people need to not be so judgy about it. I mean, I think that it's a new it's a new normal. And like Jimmy said, I thank God that I'm here. I'm here
Well, yeah.
for a reason. I hope I don't, 2 steps forward, I don't want to go backward, but I do everything I'm supposed to do. Um, and I'm glad that there are other people to talk about it with.
And then Jim, what do you wish that caregivers understood about supporting someone with aphasia?
It's hard for me. I mean, there's so many different approaches that you have when you broach a subject like this. Uh, and a lot of people question your makeup, meaning that something that you've gone through, and uh, they've like Julie, for an example, they've known her for 30 years, and then she turns around and she centers herself on the same people, and they look at her differently. And then all of a sudden, she comes home and she weeps and like everybody else. And what am I doing wrong? So I try to be a supportive element. I want to laugh when she laughs. She cries, I cry. It's just the way it is. And you build up that supporting element that will continue to help you and our faith. And that's about it. And God's going to take over and do as much as he can for all of us.
What
Right.
Mm.
what what would you say to someone that, so say you had to go on vacation, which you can't go on vacation without me, but say somebody came in and took your place as a caregiver, what would you say how to take good care of me?
I ain't going anywhere.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
hypothetically.
Hey, Roger, I was right?
Absolutely. You're always right.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyway,
This was awesome. Thank you guys both for talking to us. Julie, thank you for sharing your story. Jim, thanks for being with us. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for supporting Julie. I mean, this is this community that we're all part of now. We didn't choose to be part of it, but we're making the best of it. And it's really nice to just meet other people out there.
oh
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
thank God
And,
for you. I tell you,
Yes, thank you so
stay the
much.
course, continue to march, my friend.